This is Fuzzy. She is a bee, and she may be small, but she is an ecological marvel, and the role she plays within her forest ecosystem cannot be understated. What, you don't believe me? Okay, I'll prove it to you. Fuzzy lives in a eusocial community. She works with older and younger generations of bees, all helping each other to raise the young of the queen, the only reproducing female within the colony. This cooperative breeding strategy may seem silly, but Fuzzy knows that it actually increases her inclusive fitness, and that this strategy of kin selection actually helps natural selection to favor the group's overall survival, even at the risk of her individual reproductive success. All the new generations will somehow be related to Fuzzy, since every worker is born from the same queen bee, so it's in her best interest to take care of the younger members of the hive. As Fuzzy leaves, she checks for any threats to the colony. She's been equipped with a sharp stinger if and when she's in need of defense, and she's not afraid to use it. This altruistic defense mechanism is very effective, even with the risk of individual harm. In accordance to Hamilton's rule, the relatedness and the benefit of the recipient outweigh the cost to the performer, and the hive would benefit from her sacrifice. For Fuzzy, though, the coast is clear, and she makes her way over to the almond orchard. When she lands on an almond blossom, she collects the pollen from that specific flower, and as Fuzzy moves on to the next flower and the next, she helps fertilize these plants, enabling them to reproduce and create more almond trees. Fuzzy and these trees have a mutualistic relationship, where they both gain something from the interaction with each other. For the trees, they get fertilized, and for Fuzzy, she gets to collect more pollen to help feed the hive. Bees have been recorded to increase plant growth by 62% in some cases, making them major contributors to the surrounding environment's maintenance. As the number of fertilized plants increase, the number of trees able to grow does as well. This increase in plants provides an essential resource to every animal within the ecosystem, not just bees. For example, say these trees are fertilized and the number of trees doubles. Being producers within the food web means they are now able to provide higher levels of energy and nutrients. Primary consumers, such as deer, can eat these plentiful trees, and in response, their population size increases. Then they provide more nutrients and energy for secondary consumers, such as coyotes, and their population size increases as well. Eventually, all these animals are consumed by decomposers and become nutrients within the soil that help new almond trees to grow. More almond trees also contribute to the carbon cycle, now able to absorb more carbon dioxide from the air and convert that carbon dioxide into energy via photosynthesis. Then that oxygen is released into the atmosphere and lowers the greenhouse gas levels. Oh, look, Fuzzy's done collecting pollen. Time to head back to the hive. All this thanks to Fuzzy and the many other workers in her colony. You know, Fuzzy, this disproportionate effect you bees have on the ecosystem marks you as a keystone species. Areas that lack bees may fall victim to habitat fragmentation due to the inability to reproduce and continue to colonize the area. Your absence would also be felt all the way down the food web, with a negative trophic cascade caused by the diminished plant growth, reducing the herbivore population and, in accordance to the Lotka-Volterra predator-prey model, a decrease in predator population size would follow. The entire ecosystem would dwindle without you there to keep it running. Many indigenous cultures have long recognized the importance of bees on the environment, and many ancient practices of beekeeping have been passed down through generations, allowing indigenous groups to cherish the bond between nature and ancestral heritage while also maintaining ecological sustainability. The Mi'kmaq principle of Etuapmunk, or two-eyed seeing, is the practice of joining both indigenous knowledge and Western perspectives on scientific study to create blended strategies to interact with and care for the environment. Such practices could definitely be applied to indigenous knowledge on beekeeping in order to better take care of our ecosystems and the organisms that maintain it. So don't doubt yourself, Fuzzy. You and your hive keep the ecosystem thriving. Despite your tiny size, you make a huge impact, and you should be proud of everything you do.